friends, so today we will solve question number 2 in Lit 75, which is greatest common divisor. Let's go to the screen. Okay. So what the question says is greatest common divisor of string. For two string yes and t, we say t divides yes if and only if yes is equals to t plus t, that is the yes is equal to concatenation multiple concatenation of string t, and t is concatenated with itself one or more time. That is what I said ki string yes should be multiple concatenation of string t. And the question is, given two string str1 and str2, return the largest string x such that x divides both string 1 and string 2. So what we need to find here, ki there are two string 1 and string 2. So we need to find a string x, we can say, and x, string 1 should be concatenation of string x and string 2 should be concatenation of string x. And not just this, that x should have multiple, sorry, that x should have longest length. So what does it mean, key longest length? Take this example. No, okay. uh, First we'll see key S is equals to T plus T means what they mean to say. That is string 1 is ABC ABC. Let's see this example first. The string 1 is equals to ABC ABC, string 2 is ABC, and output is ABC. That is what string 1 is 2 times of ABC and string 2 is 1 time of ABC. So that's why longest string is ABC. Let's see second question, the second example. String 1 is AB 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 and string 2 is AB AB. So here we took uh, AB as our string x and not the AB AB. As let's see ki if we had took AB AB, that is string 2 as our x, then what happens ki string 1 is not the 2 times of AB AB. It's just 3 times of AB. So AB is the longest string that we can take whose concatenation is string 1 also and string 2 also. So let's see string like example number 3. Example number 3 says ki string 1 is lit and string 2 is cold. So here basically we don't get any string whose concatenation is lit and whose concatenation is cold. So we are returning empty string. Let's see one more example that over here. Let's see we have str1 is equals to 4 times a and str2 is equals to 2 times a. So here uh, let's see we have not just okay, it also works that str1 is equals to 4 times a and str2 is equals to 2 times a. So here if we take x is equals to a, then also string 1 is equals to 4 times of x and string 2 is equals to 2 times of x. But as the question says we want longest string, we can see ki x can be AA also, cause string 2 is AA and string 2 is 2 times of AA. So we can see ki string 1 is equals to 2 times of AA, that is x, we are taking x, and string 2 is equals to 1 time of A, that is x. So here we found the largest length of string x which divides both string 1 and string 2. So that was the real catch key. We need to find the longest. So first we'll think ki okay, we'll find a string whose concatenation will give a string 1 and whose concatenation will give string 2. But in what case it won't be possible that we won't be able to generate a string x which will divide which will divide both the string 1 and string 2 in integer, like whose concatenation will give string 1 and string 2. This will be possible in which case? So we can take that this example here ki if what I thought ki if I take ki string 1 plus string 2 is equals to string 2 is equals to string 2 plus string 1, then what happens? Basically, there is a string x who divides the string 1, so we can take it is a m times of x plus string 2 is n times of x and string 2 again n times of x plus string 1 is again m times of x. Uh, let's solve this equation that m plus n into x is equals to n plus mx. So here what happens? He n and m both will that n plus m is equals to m plus n. So both will be cancelled and we remain with string s that x is equals to x. So basically we prove here ki when we say ki there is a string x which divides the both string 1 and string 2, that then there should be then this should hold true that string 1 plus string 2 is equal to string 2 plus string 1. And if it's not equal, that string 1 plus string 2 is not equal to string 2 plus string 1, then it is impossible to find string x which will divide both the strings. So yeah, first we'll check this condition that string 1 plus string 2, this will be our first condition, that is it what I did uh, is it true that is string 1 plus string 2 is equal to string 2 plus string 1? If it is, then we'll proceed or we'll return empty string. Okay, let's see. Let's say we found that string 1 plus string 2 is equal to string 2 plus string 1. Now what we will do? Question says कि we want largest string and which we divide the both. So basically it divides the lengths also. So largest string divides the largest string means largest number which divides the length of string 1 and length of string 2. Length of string 1 is also a number. Let's say length of string 1 is n and length of string 2 is m, and there is x which divides both and it is the largest, then it is a large GCD. You get it? That how we find the GCD, like how we control that it will be GCD. So we need to find that now you will say ki why not, why the GCD only, why not the less than number than GCD? So basically if we take a common divisors then of both n and m, and first we'll take common divisors and then we'll have a one largest divisor which divides both the number and that will be our GCD. Other all common divisor also divides the GCD, and it's true. And we also here can take, let's say ki string 1 dot size is equals to 18 and string 2 dot size, let's say string 1 dot size and string 2 dot size is equals to 24. So basically common, let's take common divisors of both 18 and 24. Then we'll have that one will be common divisor of 18 and 24, then 2 will be common divisor of this, then 3, then 3, then we'll have 6, then we'll have 8, no, 9, no, yeah, then 6 will be the greatest divisor, like GCD. Then you can see that 1 6 divisible, 1 also divides 6, 2 divides 6, 3 divides 6. So basically whatever it is, like whichever the common divisors are, they also divide GCD. GCD also divisible by all the common divisors. So we'll take GCD length only. So now we are clear that our answers length, like answer string length will be GCD of length of string 1 and length of string 2. Now we can take that length, the string length, that string of length n from string 1 also and string 2 also, because both are concatenation of the same strings. So we can see ki if string 1 is n times of x and string 2 is m times of x, then in both, if we take from n string 1 or string 2, string GCD length string, then it will be, both will be equal. So let's solve the question that already I had solved yesterday, but unable to record the video. So I'll just explain this first. Like I'm not gonna write the code now. What it says is string 1 plus string 2 and string 2 plus string 1, if it is not equal, then we'll return the empty string that we first said. Then we'll take length of string 1, length of string 2, and we'll take GCD of both lengths, that is the length, and we'll return any of the, here you can take string 2 also, that string 2 dot substring from 0 to length n. This is substring, it is a inbuilt function, and GCD also inbuilt function. These both are inbuilt function in C++. GCD gives greatest common use as GCD, and substring any like string name dot substring will copies the characters from this index, that whichever index we provide, to this much length, that we provide the length, this much length, till that length it copies those characters, and it returns the string. This function basically returns something, that function returns string, and we are returning that string as our answer to this question. So if we submit it, then we'll see it will get submitted, and yeah, it's correct answer. Now we'll see how time complexity for this question. Concatenation will take the time complexity big of n plus m. That if we take the n plus m is that if we take the n plus m is equals to upper size n, that is bigger n, then concatenation cost will be big of n, and we are comparing both the strings, so it will also take big of n, that is each character we are comparing, so comparison cost is big of n. So basically it will take 2 cross big of n time, but generally we can say big of n plus n time, but we say ki it is big of n time. Then we have this GCD function, calculation of GCD function. It takes logarithmic complexity of lengths, but it then we can say ki we have lengths in, we define the length that it will be less than 100, though it will be constant. I'll say ki maximum big of in log of 100 it will take. So I will say ki it is a constant time complexity. Then we have we are copying string from 0 to length. So length basically we can say ki let's say we have uh, maximum length, whichever the length is, that it copying the characters, so it will take big of length time. So this will take big of length time, and maximum time complexity of this, like we take that this will be big of n plus n, that is big of n, and that is our time complexity here. Now see space complexity. So for the space complexity, we are not storing anything here. So if we store, like we are comparing it, so if we say we are comparing both characters, so for that, so that will take big of n's place, that is big of n plus m, and here it will take big of one space, then here it will be take big of one space. For time complexity also, returning the size of string, it will take big of one time only, and space also it will take big of one space, and here also we will store it in one integer, so it will take big of one time, and it will take big of one space, and here we are returning from big of like 0 to length character character length string, so it will store like like I said key it sub this function dot substring returns string, so this will be stored that it will take space complexity of big of length. So overall time complexity, so overall space complexity will be big of n, that is space complexity will be big of n. Okay, so that was the question. I may be too fast because I did this second time, and yeah, hope you guys understood this, and tell me if I did any mistake.